This is Don Van Galen along with the music man Joe Flynn. Woo! Inviting you to join John and his guest, NHL hockey great Walter Tkaczuk. Woo! Amy Cubberley and Stephanie Metcalfe from the Girl Guides. And special guest country music sensation Darcy John.
Share a laugh or two now, won't we know?
Absolutely.
Big smiles from me and you. Hello, hello. We're set to go. Hello, hello. We're set to go on with the front porch show.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's John. Wow, what a crowd. I think this is the biggest crowd we've ever had, John. What do you think? John? Don. I'm John, you're Don.
I'm Frank.
I'll keep it straight now. And who's that? That's not Frank.
Well, let me be frank with you guys, okay?
Okay, where's the hook? Okay, well, we just got a few internet stats here that right now we know that there's over 1,300 people clicking on this during some time. And I've been told that of those people we have about 1,100 people who are engaging in that, which means they don't just click on it, look at it, and dump it. They actually watch it, which is... It's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing fact. We've got a really long show today. We want to get enough for all the people and forget about me. So we're going to go from here to Don with alternate facts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the section of the show where we have some audience participation. We have two wonderful guests joining us down here in front to participate, one on either side, please. First of all, let's introduce ourselves. Ma'am, we'll start with you. Can you tell us your name, please?
Kate.
Kate, and where are you from, Kate?
Here.
You're from St. Mary's.
Oh, well. It's okay. You're allowed.
All right, Kate from St. Mary's, and you, sir?
Peter Rice,
Peter, where are you from?
St. Mary's as well.
Ah, terrific. Yeah.
I've been thrilled to live here for about 34 years, but the biggest thrill is playing tennis with you. You're like Roger Federer on steroids. That helped me win.
Other than playing tennis, Peter, what do you do?
I'm a local artist here, a sculptor.
Terrific. Would I have seen any of your work, Peter?
I hope so, Don. Have you checked my new website?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. And like, if I wanted to see something in person, where would I go?
Well, I'm really thrilled this September. We're going to have a show right here at the Station Gallery, September 7th to October 13th.
All right. We didn't plan that at all, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you know how we play alternate facts, Peter? You know, Kate, how we play alternate facts? Okay, so for the audience, I'm going to tell you a story. And you are going to listen to the story very attentively and try to determine whether the fact in it is actually true, or perhaps it is, as Donald Trump likes to say, an alternate fact and not true. So here we go. How many people have either heard the story or seen the movies about the Bounty? The Mutiny on the Bounty. Have you seen that? Hands? Okay. So most of you will know that story was made into several films, starting in 1935 with Clark Gable. 1962 version saw the creation of a replica ship for the movie, which sailed for the next 50-some years, and was also used in the making of the movie in the 1980s with Mel Gibson, and he played the role of Fletcher Christian, the head mutineer, the second officer in command of the ship, who decided that he would take over from Captain Bligh after they left the wonderful island of Tahiti. Anyways, as most of you know, what happened to the mutineers, you know, they went back to Tahiti and then they were hunted down, but most of them were never found. They had marooned themselves on Pitcairn Island, and they were not discovered until some 150 years later. and they were rather surprised to see all these white people in this very native South Seas island, and found out their origins, because indeed some of them were actually named Christian. Anyways, fast forward now to 2012, the replica ship, the Bounty, had become a tour ship. It would tour the oceans and the Great Lakes, and in fact, I myself saw it about 15 years ago in Sarnia, and you got to walk on and tour the ship and see how they would have sailed a ship 200 years ago. It was quite fascinating for this sailor. And the last time I saw her was in Puerto Rico, back in 2012, about February. It had moved down to the Caribbean for its southern tour during the winter season. And okay, so anyways, 6 months later, that ship floundered as a result of Hurricane Sandy. 16 crew abandoned the ship, 2 were lost. The captain never found, presumed dead, and 1 deceased member of the crew was recovered. The name of that crew member was Claudine Christian, a direct descendant of Fletcher Christian. Ladies and gentlemen, is this a true story, or is it indeed an alternate fact? Kate, we'll start with you.
Alternate fact.
Alternate fact, says Kate. She doesn't trust me. Peter, you might trust my tennis playing, but do you trust my storytelling?
I definitely do. That's got to be true.
Got to be true. Okay, so we have 1 alternate fact and 1 true story. Ladies and gentlemen, your opinion matters too. True? Oh, just a smattering out there. Alternate fact. It's devastating for a politician to be told he's lying. Our fabulous prizes, would you please bring them out?
You can be on camera.
We only need 1, of course.
Floor Director Jeff Cubberley.
Stagehand.
And I actually have 1 more prize there. So this is another prize. It is a print, a Peter Rice original. Pardon me, Alan Rice. Peter Allen Rice. There we go. Original. Obviously, that would be something that you would choose for yourself, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, I would choose it. Anyway, so this prize goes to the winner of the alternate fact contest, who said that I was telling the truth.
Yeah.
This is an actual true story. Blew me away. Oh, well, yeah, or your choice of fabulous Ford T-shirts or golf shirts of multiple colors and sizes.
You got extra large.
Extra large with the tennis elbows worked in. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for playing alternate fact.
Don, did Peter say that you were like Roger Federer with hemorrhoids?
No, on steroids.
That was steroids.
Oh, okay. I heard hemorrhoids. Okay.
Well, on the
anyway.
occasion.
Okay. And anyways, we're now going on to community calendar, and may I present the lovely Lauren Eady.
Ooh, I love my little calendar girl.
Hello, hello.
Front Porch Show!
So, we have a few things here. If you're looking for interesting things to do in St. Mary's this summer, consider these 2 items. The St. Mary's Museum exhibit, Extra Extra, Read All About It, that details the history of newspapers in the area, continues throughout the summer. The St. Mary's Station Gallery exhibit, entitled Character Sketches by costume designer Christina Padubiuk, will be extended by a week until August the 17th. Cameron Porteous said this exhibit has been very popular with visitors, and he also mentioned that in 2018, the gallery has already had approximately 1,100 visitors from all across Canada and some from Europe. For garage sale lovers, the St. Mary's Townwide Garage Sale will be held on Saturday, July 21st. And for those of you who are taking the time to dust off your treasures and wish to place an ad in the yard sale for this week's Independent, we are offering a special flat rate price of $10. Just stop by our office at 36 Water Street South and get your yard sale listed. On Sunday, July 22nd, an open house to celebrate Norma Seabor's 90th birthday will be held in the multi-purpose room at the Pyramid Center from 2 to 4. Spaces are still available for Macaulay's Farm Camp from July 23rd to 27th. Enjoy summer vacation with visiting the farm animals, hiking, water games, crafts, and more. If parents are interested in having their kids enrolled for this week of farm fun, further information and application forms are available at macaulays.ca, or you can just stop by the store outside St. Mary's. There are numerous summer camps offered by the town of St. Mary's as well. Camp PRC for grades 2 to 6 is ongoing until August 31st at the Pyramid Recreation Center. The first session of tennis camp for ages 9 to 12 will be held July 16th to 20th, and the second session is from July 30th to August 3rd, and the final one is August 13th to 17th. Kitchen camp is also available at the Lynn Sportsplex with 4 weekly sessions in total. If you'd like to inquire about availability or cost of these programs, please call 519-284-2160. We're continuing. So the town of St. Mary's is also hosting a variety of events during National Drowning Prevention Week, which runs from July 15th to the 21st. On Tuesday, July 17th and Thursday, July 19th, lifeguards at the quarry will be offering a Swim to Survive workshop from 1 to 8 p.m. for the cost of regular admission. Participants will learn life-saving skills such as how to properly fall or roll into the water, tread water for 1 minute, and swim 50 meters. The St. Mary's Fire Department will also have a display of their new water rescue equipment at the quarry on Wednesday, July 18th from 1 to 3 p.m. Finally, Perth County paramedics will be at the quarry Friday, July 20th from 1 to 5 p.m. to answer any questions the public may have regarding paramedic services in Perth County. They will also offer free defibrillator and CPR demonstrations throughout the afternoon. Okay. And that's your weekly community calendar for July 15th edition of the Front Porch Show. Have a great weekend and stay cool.
Thank you, Lauren. Don, are you going to do any of those workshops or camps?
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna be the instructor for the tennis camp.
For the tennis camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
My newfound status is the Roger Federer.
Roger Federer of St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're heading off to our first commercial. Don, tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's one thing we've been enjoying lately. It's sunny days. Here we are with sun rays.
Hi everybody, it's Mary and Casey here from Sunrays again, and we just wanted to introduce our new line of St. Mary's logo clothing. So what we have started is we have a unisex hoodie sweatshirt. It comes in 2 different logos. So the first logo I'm showing you says St. Mary's, the town worth living in, and it has the year it was established, and the sweatshirts. And it also comes in a ladies fitted sweatshirt with pink trim or black trim, and it has the second logo on it. So the second logo says we're the Stone Town, and we chose 4 different things that we thought were important to St. Mary's. So on here we have Baseball Hall of Fame at the top. Over here we wanted to show our water tower, and here is our famous Little Falls, and then at the bottom is swimming for our quarry. So those are the 4 big things that we felt were important to us as St. Mary's. Next, what we also have is we have tank tops. So yeah, I got it on both sides. I got it. So the tank tops come in the 2 different colors. Okay, we carry sizes small to XXL, and we also carry baseball caps, as you can see, and they come in 6 different colors. And before I forget, don't forget to get your souvenirs from St. Mary's. We also carry magnets and stickers. You can get us downtown at 113 Queen Street, the big yellow building. Oh, sorry. This is why I bring it with me. 2% of all the sales of the St. Mary's clothing are being donated back to St. Mary's to support the winter lights. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunrays, and thank you, Casey, for keeping your clothes on this thing.
Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Okay, it's my pleasure now to introduce one of the NHL all-time greats, Walter Tkaczuk.
Take me out to the ball. No, that's the wrong sport. Oh, the good old hockey game.
The good old hockey game.
And the best game you can name.
It's a good old hockey game. You like that song?
First time I heard it.
Okay, I was reading that great knowledgeable thing, Wikipedia, that you weren't born in Canada. Where were you born?
I was born in Germany.
Germany.
My parents were both Ukrainian, and they were kind of moving around at the time, and I decided to come out in Germany, Emstetten. And about 2 years later, my father came to Canada and earned some money to bring his wife and me to Canada. We grew up, spent the rest of our time up in South Porcupine, up by Timmins.
Okay, right.
And the community was about the same size as St. Mary's, about 3,000 people at that time. And my father was a laborer, and he worked in the mines for most of his life.
Yeah. So how did you get started playing hockey?
Just like all the young kids here in St. Mary's, in the wintertime you play hockey, in the summertime you're swimming, you're playing baseball and soccer, and it was just a fun sport to do in the wintertime. Of course, winter up in South Porcupine was a little longer than it is down here.
Yeah, natural ice too.
A lot of natural ice.
Now, when did you realize that you were a pretty good hockey player, that people were discovering you as a talent?
I didn't even realize it the whole time I was playing hockey. I was just enjoying myself. I went out there to play hockey. My parents would say, "What does it cost to play hockey?" And it was all free up north. The Dome Mine, they paid for the ice, and all you had to do is buy your skates. And I think my first pair of shin pads was a magazine that I put in my shins.
What do you use for a cup?
No cups. We didn't have a raise.
So you held your stick in the right place. Okay. How old were you when you went to the Kitchener Rangers?
They asked me when I was going on 16 to come out and try out for the Kitchener Green Shirts, which was the B team in Kitchener. And they said, "Well, we're just going to look at you, and then we're going to send you back in the following year. You maybe can make it." What happened was they saw me and said, "Well, we'll put you on the fourth line." And so I was 16 when I came down. I played 2 years with the Kitchener Green Shirts, and also we came to play the Lincolns.
Yes.
The Green Shirts played the Lincolns at that time. And I remember sitting in the bus, my partner and I, Danny Sagan, he came from Sudbury.
Right.
And we're still partners, and we have a golf course here in St. Mary's. We were coming over the bridge, a railroad track bridge, and it was about 6 o'clock at night. And we're looking, and there's nobody on the streets. There's snowbanks, and I said to Danny, "Who'd live in this town?" 5 years later, we bought a farm, just like this, and we've been here for the last 50 years, and we're still there.
And then you got the call to play for the New York Rangers. What was it like when you first moved to New York City, a boy from South Porcupine?
I remember going into the city and just, I was in awe. Your head was up in the air all the time, just looking up. After about a week or so, you just got used to everything. In New York, when you go to the deli or something to get a sandwich, you go to the counter, they get the sandwich, and you pay, and they say, next, next, next. When you come back here to St. Mary's, you go buy something, you can talk to somebody behind the counter for a minute or two, but in New York, everything's busy, busy, busy.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, for the first 2 seasons, they didn't pronounce your name the right way.
Yeah.
Walter Tkaczuk.
Tkaczuk, yeah. What happened was in Kitchener, I had one of our coaches there, Steve Briklasich. He was coaching in the American Hockey League, and there was a person there that his name was similar to mine, and it was Tkaczuk. So when he came to Kitchener, instead of saying Tkaczuk, it was too hard for him to say Tkaczuk. He says, "I'm calling you Tkaczuk," and it stuck. So then, when I was playing, finally got into the NHL, McFarland interviewed me between periods, and He said, we're going to have Walter Tkaczuk come in between period 1 and 2 and blah, blah, blah. So I come in, and first thing he says to me, so how do you pronounce your name? I said, Walter Tkaczuk, and then he went on with his interview. And as I left and I was walking and leaving from him, he said, and we just interviewed Walter Tkaczuk of the New York Rangers.
Because it was, how long did it take to get it right then?
I think the last 8 years. It was about seven years that stuck with me.
Now, what was it like playing for the Rangers? Did you have a good bunch of guys?
Well, we had a fantastic team. There was a lot of good teams there. You had the Montreal Canadiens were really strong. The Boston Bruins were strong with Esposito and Bobby Orr. We were strong with John Urtel, Brad Park, Eddie Jackman, Hatfield, Gilbert. Chicago had Bobby Howells and Tony Esposito, and Boston had Phil Esposito, Cashman. They were really good teams, and all the teams were good. And what happened was you become really, really close because you have to fight and stick together against these other guys. And once you play with these guys and they're on your back and helping you, you become lifetime friends.
Were you much of a fighter?
No, I would probably get a fight a year.
And would you ever get in a moment where you say, holy smokes, what have I got myself into?
I'll tell you one. So we're playing Boston, and Boston, Cashman is kind of a tough guy with the Boston Bruins, and it's in the playoffs, and it's in New York. We're coming around the net, and I know we're going to run into each other, and we do, and we hit, and all of a sudden he drops his gloves, and he got the first couple of punches in, and I guess he won that fight. The next game we were playing in Boston, and that was probably the day after. There was a rest day. Same scenario, coming around as here we go again. Bang, we hit, but I dropped mine first, and I figured I won that one. So we're even on that. So 20 years later, after I'm retired, Cash is retired, we're at a fundraiser up in Kingston, and we're sitting having a drink, and Cash says to me, do you remember when you suckered me in Boston? I said, no, I didn't suck you. I said, I got the first punch in. You got the first punch in New York, I got the first one in Boston.
Now, in 1972, you were asked to play for Team Canada, but you declined because you were running a hockey school. Is that something you regret today?
No, not really. What happened was I played against the Russians and the Czechs, through the years. And that trip going to Russia, or them coming here and then going to Russia, it was just like we're going to go have a good time. Nobody realized what that series meant. Now it's part of history for Canada. But what happened was I was running a hockey school in St. Mary's, and we were putting through 100 kids a week. And I had made a commitment, to be with these kids, to be on the ice once a day with them. So I went to the training camp in Toronto, and I said, I'd like to, work out with the Team Canada. I said, they practice twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. I said, I'll come to 1 in the morning or the afternoon. I'll go on the ice with the kids in the morning, and then go to Toronto for the afternoon. They said, no, we need total commitment. I said, well, you've got a lot of good players. And Bobby Clark, I think he came in and took over my spot there.
Right. Now, what's the highlight of your career? What are some of the best moments of your career?
Well, I don't think I got really the best one. I guess it would be to win the Stanley Cup. I went to the finals twice, but we were shy. I think Montreal beat us at one time, and then Boston beat us the other time. But I think the thing that I really liked is the friends that I met as teammates and the friends off the ice also.
So there must have been some real characters in the game then. Can you tell me about one or two of them? Who was the craziest character you ever faced?
I can't tell you. They're all off ice stuff, and I can't talk about that. My wife's in the audience.
Okay. And an eye injury suddenly ended your career. What was it like to have your career just end in one moment like that?
Yeah, I was playing the Los Angeles Kings, and the puck came up. It hit me right in the eye. There was quite a bit of swelling there right away. They wanted to get the swelling out of it, but they couldn't, and so I lost the sight of central vision in my left eye. So, and I didn't want to continue and take a chance of losing the other one because I could still see with one eye.
Yeah.
I was quite lucky because Craig Patrick was the general manager and coach of the Rangers at the time, and after I got out of the hospital and recovering, and I was watching the game between the benches, Craig Patrick said, "Why don't you come behind the bench and just talk to the players?" I said, "What do you want me to talk to them about?" He said, "Well, if you see him doing something that you think you can improve things, just talk to him." I said, "Okay." So I stood behind the bench and I'd see a player maybe letting his check go, and that went on for a couple of weeks. And then a few weeks later, Craig Patrick says, "Why don't you change the defense? I'll change the forwards." I said, "Okay." So then I was changing the defense. He was doing the forwards, and then he said, "I want to change the defense. You change the forwards." So I was still involved with hockey, not in playing, but still involved with him.
So now you're currently the owner of the River Valley Golf Course
Yeah.
and tubing.
Yeah.
And how did you get into that?
Well, by accident. When we bought the property, it was we built the camp for the hockey school. We weren't farmers. It's very rolling hills, so we planted 40,000 trees, assorted trees. 20 years later, we decided we either had to do something with the property or sell it. And I think my wife said, "Why don't you consider putting a golf course in?" I said, "I don't know, too much work." So I waited 2 more years so I got a little older, and then my partner and I, Danny Sagan, we went out and built the golf course. It took us about 3 years. We feel pretty proud about the golf course because we actually jumped on the bulldozers. We actually drove the dump trucks, and then we got a guy out of Toronto that came in and did all the contouring of it.
If you had to sum up your life, including hockey and out of hockey, in one sentence, what would you say?
But a great life. A great life.
Yeah. Very good. Well, we got somebody here who's a fan of yours. Get something, can you sign something?
Okay.
And who are you?
Leslie Edney.
Yeah, I know who you are, but they don't know. So we have, what do you have there, Leslie?
I have a 1971-72 card of yours, Walter. If you could sign that, I know somebody who would really appreciate it. Happy anniversary, baby.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Walter, thank you for coming to the show.
Good, man. Thank you.
Okay, Don, we're going to our second commercial. Tell us what it's about.
Yeah, well, I was talking to my wife earlier this week, and I said, we got to spice up our lives. And you know what I was thinking? Well, she headed right downtown to Troyer Spices.
Hey everyone, my name is Amy and I'm coming to you from Troyer Spices. The first thing I wanted to do was thank you all because this past week we just had our 1st year anniversary, so thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. I wanted to bring just a couple quick things with me just to talk about one of the things we hear a lot are people want natural ingredients, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. So this week we have 2 new products in just to let you know we have them. Curry paste, 8 different flavors. If you're interested in it, you don't use the whole jar, you just use 1 to 2 teaspoons. And there are recipes at their website on the jar. So that's one thing that's all natural, great to have in the store. Another thing is if you're wanting something healthy, we now also carry herb and hippie granola. So this comes from Kingston and it's all small batches, all natural flavors, no nuts, no this, no that, it's all real stuff. So the last thing I wanted to bring to you is something that most people like to do gift-wise, but we do have tablespoon straws at the store. If you just need a tablespoon of something, we can do it. But 2 things people don't always know is the first thing is if you're giving a gift with like a day's notice, I can put any photo on here you want, whether it's a wedding picture, a Christmas picture, anything for Father's Day, Mother's Day, a special photo, we can do that. And a lot of people didn't know until recently, but the tubes that we use for this, yes, they are straws, but they are also recyclable and biodegradable. So we wanted to let people know that we're trying to keep things out of the landfill, so doing the best. We will be having some cooking shows also moving into the fall. So before Christmas, before Thanksgiving, we're going to have some extra special fun. So thank you very much.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair, Parsley Sage, Rosemary and Thyme?
Okay, those look like they'd be really great wedding favors. You know, when you have a wedding, instead of giving, to give every guest something to take home, there's something with your picture on it and some spices to spice up your life.
Spice up your life.
Now, how much is your life spiced up now?
John, I could tell you, but we simply don't have enough time.
Okay, and this is a family show.
That too.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's go on.
My wife's here.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now we have our next guest, and whoa, there we go. Next week, we have Amy Cubberley and Stephanie to come on, and they're going to talk about guides and sparks. So, Amy, you're involved in guides. How long has guides been in St. Mary's?
So Guides was in St. Mary's when I was a child. I actually was not involved with it at that time, and it stopped for a little while. It's always been in Kirkton though, so Steph participated in Kirkton, but in 2014 it started back up in St. Mary's.
Great. And what ages are guides?
Guides are 9 to 11. I also work with Pathfinders who are 12 to 14. So we have a Pathfinder with us.
And okay, Pathfinder, who are you?
My name is Lauren.
And why did you join Guides and Pathfinder?
Well, I started in Guides and it was Bring a Friend Night. So my friend, she invited me to come and I absolutely loved it there. It was so nice and I convinced my mom to let me join.
And what do you most like about it?
Probably the fact that you meet so many new friends and they feel like your sisterhood. I mean your sisters, because it is in the sisterhood of guiding. So yeah.
And Sparks, how old are Sparks?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. So is that the lowest level then, or the beginning level of the guides? And what comes after Sparks then? Brownies.
Yeah.
And they're from what age to what age?
7 and 8.
7 and 8. Okay, so you got something for every age, but the brownies, there aren't brownies here, right?
There aren't, although I suspect as Steph's daughters get older, she may by default become a brownie leader as well.
And what is the purpose of guides and Sparks and brownies?
Steph is just starting a Sparks unit this year, so she's even newer to this than I am, and I've only been involved for 2 years. The purpose of guiding is our motto is to create a better world by girls.
And what kind of activities do you do?
Well, with the Pathfinders, because they're a little bit older, we do all sorts of activities. I like to get us out in the community as much as possible, so we do badge work where we do cleanups, swimming, it's kind of led by whatever the girls are interested in.
And Stephanie, you were trying to start a Sparks group. Why? You have 2 daughters, you said?
I have 3 daughters. My oldest is turning 5 this year. She's out playing somewhere. Can get her over here. But I was a Spark when I was little, and I really enjoyed it. So I've heard a lot of feedback from town that it's really needed in town.
Okay, Amy and Stephanie, you want to get your daughter, or your daughter, yes, of course. Your daughter, any daughter, involved in the Pathfinders or Guides, what do you do?
So you can register online at girlguides.ca, and it's about $175 to register for the year, and we run approximately September to June every year.
Okay, and you want to get involved in Sparks, what do you do?
The same thing, girlguides.ca, and register.
Okay, wonderful. Come on over here, we got a bit of a test for Don. Okay, come on over here, everybody. And when you're in Guides and Pathfinders, you earn badges, am I correct?
You do.
Okay, we're going to see if Don can earn a Pathfinder.
Yeah, so this is just a component. The Pathfinder badges are quite intensive, so this is one of several components.
Give me an idea of some of the...
A full badge? I don't even get a full badge for this?
I'm afraid not.
Okay, what are some of the badges? Give me an example of some of the things you do. About 5 or 6.
So we do lots of outdoor themed badges, so survival skills, first aid, social media. There's a lot of badges that look at things like social media, science and technology, photography.
Got it.
Yeah, no, I avoided technology or photography.
Financial planning?
There is a budgeting badge, actually.
Okay.
So it's a lot of life skills. I don't think it's quite the domestic skills that it once was. It's a lot more varied now.
Okay, so what's the one you have for Don today?
Okay, so part of the up close and personal with nature badge is you just have to get to know the plants around you. So we'd like you to rapid fire identify all the plants you can see in the park right now.
Grass.
Not October 17th grass.
Yeah, no, the
It's fine.
regular stuff. A spruce tree, a oak tree, maple tree, clover,
Close Street.
a clove tree, a fake tree on the playground there.
Yeah.
Struggling now.
Keen eye.
Well, what do you think? Did he pass?
I don't know.
Okay, folks, did he pass?
Yeah.
Oh, that's about a 50-50.
You gotta do better than that.
Okay, Don, I'm going to throw it over to you now. Thank you for coming in for the Front Porch Show. Beautiful, beautiful. Don, you're going to introduce the next commercial.
Yeah, John, I was listening very carefully, and I was really disappointed that nobody bought brownies. I was really expecting to have some brownies here tonight, but the Girl Guides didn't bring brownies. Or are you talking about the same thing? Maybe not. Anyway, I know somebody who knows something about brownies. It's Kitchen Smidgen.
Patio Stone, where have you been?
Oh, my wee micro bakery friend. I had a bit too much to drink back on March the 17th, and I fell asleep under a tree here at Cadzow Park. I just woke up an hour ago with splash pad water squirting all over me. Now, why are all these people here?
Patty, it's the Front Porch Show.
The Front Porch Show? That's a term my granny used when someone's pant zipper was down.
Patty, no, we're doing a commercial for the Kitchen Smidgen Bakery.
Then you best get talking about it.
All right, every Friday and Saturday we do scones, freshly baked, using local ingredients, Sheldon berries, Shepherd gourmet cheese, Sabone cheese. I do an exclusive buttercrust bread. I do the town's favorite, I think, cinnamon buns. I do lots of cookies for young and old. Very exciting. I have collaborated with the Chocolate Factory this year, and we are doing a mint smoothie brownie, only available on Fridays, which is kind of exciting.
Now, do you do anything that's alcohol or gluten-free?
Well, Patty, I do gluten-free. This past weekend, I had an almond tea cake that had Grand Marnier in that I think you might like, and I do macaroons.
Macaroons? Hey, macarona. That's my glutinous maximus.
Nice.
Which days of the week are you rolling on the river?
We're open every Friday and Saturday from 7 till 3. We're at 36 Water Street, right behind the Independent paper.
And please follow us at Kitchen Smidgen Bakery on Facebook and Instagram. Cheers.
Okay, here's one of the moments I think that everybody's been waiting for tonight. Without talking too much, but just waiting for things to get set up. Here he is, Darcy John.
All right. I think it's in tune. All right, here's a song you guys might have heard. It's kind of out on the radio right now, and I'll play it for you, I guess. Well, I'll drink beer, and I'll drive a truck. You can find me in a tree with a boat sometimes around us. Well, I've got a 12-point buck on my wall that I bagged and tagged last fall. Girl, you drink beer like my truck. Do you wanna hunt? We can head on out to my favorite spot downtown. Got my gun in the rack and some fishing gear all packed down. Let's check out the rack in the back of my Chevrolet. Here's my trusty old wooden dog call. Your smile right now says it all, girl. Slide over here in the cab of my truck. You wanna we can head on out to my favorite spot downtown. Got my gun in the back and some fishing gear all packed down. Can it get any hotter? You by the water, wearing those cut-off jeans. Girl, climb on up inside my truck. Do you wanna we can head on out to my favorite spot out of town. Got my gun in the rack and some fishing gear all packed down. Can it get any hotter? You by the water, wearing those cut-off jeans. Girl, climb on up inside my truck. Do you wanna cuddle on up the bed of my truck? Are you down to I mean, whatever.
Okay, very good. What was last night like? Coming back to your hometown with such a crowd?
Man, it scared the out of me. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was getting on stage, I can't say that over a microphone, but I mean, it really did. You know, it was really awesome. It was a great experience for sure.
Yeah, and the place was packed.
It was really packed.
And I think we can say we have the largest crowd we've ever had at the Front Porch show. I don't even know how many people, but I think you've drawn a lot of fans in, and I think we say everybody here today. But how did the Darcy John story start? There we go.
Well, where do you want me to start?
Well, you were born in St. Mary's or just outside?
I'm born in St. Mary's. I lived on 50 Solana Street growing up, and I grew up playing hockey and doing things that everybody does in St. Mary's, and I just play guitar.
And when did you start playing guitar?
I'm not sure. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. I got a guitar, and then I was fortunate enough. Both my parents both play, so they taught me a lot growing up.
Right. And anybody else teach you how to play guitar?
I had a couple lessons from a guy in Stratford for a while, and then I had a couple lessons from across the street over here from Phil Blackler. Showed me a couple lessons years ago. But mainly it was hanging out with people and people showing me a lot of things over the years.
Now you taught a few years in St. Mary's as well.
I taught a lot of years in St. Mary's.
Give me some names of some of the people that you taught in this town.
Oh, I don't even want to go there. It'll leave people out and it'll be terrible.
Okay. No, he didn't teach me. You know what? You know that. Anybody that's heard me knows he didn't teach me.
I'll bet you I taught probably close to 1,000 people how to play guitar in St. Mary's.
Wow. When did you decide music was going to be your business?
When I really hated changing tires, I guess. That'd be it, yeah.
Tom's not here. Tom's not here tonight.
I'd tell Tom. He'd probably laugh too. It's fine.
Okay, I have no idea what that meant, but that's okay.
I used to work at Ashton Tire.
Oh, gotcha.
When I got to high school, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
Because why? Because it wasn't fun. Yeah.
Okay, were you always a solo artist, or did you belong to some bands?
I belonged to some bands over the years. I played around Ontario just filling in, playing guitar with bar bands of all sorts and festivals, and like Johnny Hoover, Shania Twain, and I played the guitar for all those people for a long, long time. And then, since I've been in Nashville, I played like Tommy Cash, and Ray Scott, who's like comedy country, and a whole bunch of other people.
Did you say Shania Twain?
Shania Twin.
Twin, okay.
Shania Twin.
Oh, okay, because that's
there's like Shania Twin, there's Shania Twain, there's Shania Twins. They're all the same kind.
What was the catalyst for you moving to Nashville? Why'd you go there?
Why did I go there? To be honest, I remember going to Nashville 10 years ago, and I I watched a guy sit on a stool and play guitar at Tootsie's, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that when I'm old. So I moved to Nashville, and I got a gig playing Tootsie's for like the last few years, and I sit there and do that, you know, and it's great. I mean, I get to play every style of music, and it's awesome.
And how has your career progressed since you moved there?
Well, it's very different. I mean, now I'm doing my own thing. I write songs every day down there, and play every day. So I mean, when you play every day, you get better, you know, which is cool. And I'm just years around with great people, and it's just different now. I mean, you learn a lot being there, and doing this solo career thing is new for me.
Is it a pretty competitive environment down there, or do people just sort of get along and help each other?
I mean, everybody helps each other in Nashville, and that's the great part about it, you know.
And there's some fine musicians down there.
There's some of the best ones in the world.
Yeah.
That's great.
So around here, you're Darcy Sherman.
Yes.
How did this Darcy John thing happen?
That's a funny question. Years ago, I was playing at the Corral in Kitchener, and they couldn't fit my name on the sign. and nobody ever spells it right. Even the bank, you know, to be honest, my American bank card is SCHEUREMAN, and it's actually SCHEUER. But I just left it because sometimes it's just way harder to change everything. And by the time I realized it, I'm like, well, hell with it. So anyways, it was easier to fit Darcy John because John's my middle name, and it doesn't have an H in it, my middle name. But
Walt, you can relate to that, can't you? Walt Tkaczuk instead of Tkaczuk. What will be your measure of success? You're down in Nashville. Do you have any goals?
I mean, if I can play music. Hi, there we are. Is it working? There we go. If I can play music every day and enjoy it, then that's my goal. So I mean, I've been doing that, and if people listen to my music and do that, that's really cool. It's great, you know. But I guess it's all about just playing music for me.
Okay, so the measure of success is basically you'll enjoy it, and
yeah, I mean, no matter what I do, whether I'm singing or I'm playing, or as long as I'm involved in, you know, being on stage playing music or in the studio, I mean, I love it. You know.
Is Hunt your first single?
Hunt's the first single.
And when was it released?
It was released 4 weeks ago.
And any indication of how it's doing? I went searching on the internet, and
it's number 7 on Independent in Canada, and on the radio charts in Canada, which is out of 300 songs. It was 112 on Friday. So it started at 200 because it obviously has to start somewhere when it jumps in the chart, or it doesn't make the chart, which will be unfortunate. But it made 200, and then the second week, like the first week is kind of like a week it's just out there and radio stations get it. So the first week it was on the chart was 200. Second week was on the chart was 137, and this week it's 112. So
it's fantastic. It's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
How did you determine the thing? Years ago is when they sold records.
Mm-hmm.
How do they determine where something is?
You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know. I go and visit these radio stations. I've been on a radio tour all week, and I just meet the people. And if they like the song, they put it on. And some of them go, "Well, I can't play it unless you're in the top 50 songs in Canada." And some of them go, "Well, we can play for your top 100." And some of them just say, "We're not going to play it." You know. So I mean, and some are playing it. You know, it's getting a bunch. So it's great just to hear it on the radio from anywhere is really cool for me.
So when you come back to St. Mary's, what does it feel like?
It feels like home. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's home. It's always home, no matter what.
Yeah. So where do you go from here in your life?
In life?
Yeah.
I mean, well,
I'm a philosophic guy, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna.
What is the meaning of life to you?
Well, you could die tomorrow, so just do what you can that day. You know, like take every day and live every day for what you can. You know, because I mean, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and you seem to be very happy at doing what you do.
I love what I do.
Okay, well, why don't you do a bit more for us, and then a couple more songs, okay?
All right. How many of you guys were at the Heritage Weekend Festival yesterday? Well, I played this song yesterday, and I wasn't sure if people got it or not because I couldn't tell if people could hear me because I was talking with the microphone, and it was kind of like it was because I was loud for the band and I had the acoustic guitar and it was like booming at me. Anyways, I wrote this song about St. Mary's because every time I come home, it feels like home. And I was hoping this week that I had this neighbor Joe up on Salina Street that lived beside me my whole life, and he was honestly like another grandparent to me, and he was a great human, and just talks about like family and everything like that, and just great people in this town have been so supportive of me through this whole thing now and just my whole life, you know. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but Joe passed away on Thursday, and I was really sad because I was hoping he was going to be there yesterday. The song goes like this. There's a mailbox in a white picket fence, same as the day that I left. And Joe still lives next door, a little older than before. Tommy waves from his car, used to fix his bike down in the yard. And the mailbox is rusted brown, but it's still the same town. The girl left is married now, everything's the same somehow. The welcome sign still faded blue. In a way, everything's changed, everything stays the same. When I pull in, the porch light's still on. Ain't it true what they say? There ain't no place like home. There ain't no meal like Mama fixed it. I'll still love driving Daddy's car. I'll sit and talk to the ground. We lay Grandma down. The girl left is married now, everything's the same somehow. Welcome sign still faded blue. In a way, everything's changed, everything stays the same. When I pull in, the porch light's still on. Ain't it true what they say? There ain't no place like home. Ain't it true what they say? There ain't no place like home. Let me do one more, huh? You guys want to hear one more song? All right, I'm going to play you guys a song that's not out yet, and you guys can tell me if you like it. How about that? All right, all right. I've never been the one to put a ring on a lady's hand. I had a few starts, broke a few hearts, never had a plan. I saw you in the spotlight, and it stole my heart there and then. The way you moved and you laughed, honey, just like that, I had to be your man. Oh, honey, you don't know how you make me feel. Your smile, your kiss, and your brown eyes are true and real. Your silhouette is on my mind, sipping on your red wine. Your lips on mine, girl, all the time. Love the way you make me feel. Your love is unreal. I can never wait until the next time we're alone. Push against the door, get dressed on the floor, lady
my mind, sipping on your red wine. Your lips on mine, girl, all the time. Love the way you make me feel. Your love is unreal. Your love is unreal. You guys like it?
I think that's going to be a hit. Oh, I really like that. Okay, just like to thank us at the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for coming up. This is getting bigger and better, and I'd like to thank Walter Tkaczuk for coming in, Amy Cubberley and Stephanie Metcalfe, all the sponsors. Wow, we had the great commercials since this week, and of course, Darcy John. And here we go. We have Joseph taking us out of the show. Want to hear all of you.
I was born in Ontario, a place to stand, a place to grow from Pickle Lake to Point Bailey, no place I'd rather be than my hometown they call Stone Town, the prettiest town for miles around, where little falls laugh and people share smiles, treat you like family. Need to hear it now. St. Mary's home to me. I can't hear you. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Where anyone can be a friend, and them farmers' fields they never end, and through it all runs the mighty Thames. Such a fine sight to see. Left behind me many miles on old highways and dusty trails, and when I got tough and all else failed, I knew where I should be, and I think you do too. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Oh, home, St. Mary's home to me. Everybody now, home, St. Mary's home to me. Yeah, home, St. Mary's home to me. Do it to me now, home, St. Mary's home to me. Oh, home, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Oh, St. Mary's home to me. Judy, home. St. Mary's home to me. Home. St. Mary's home to me.
Awesome. Thank you, St. Mary's. Good night from the Front Porch Show. See you next week.